All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to tackle what's often the hardest part of any legal analysis using IRAC, and that's the conclusion. I mean, you've done all the hard work. You've laid out the issue, the rule, the entire analysis. Now, you've got to stick the landing. So let's jump right in. It's that final paragraph. It's the very last thing your reader is going to see, and boy, the pressure is on. How do you sound confident but not, overstate your case? And how in the world do you give a clear answer when the facts are just murky? Well, that's the big question, isn't it? And it's exactly what we're going to break down right now. Okay, so first things first, we have to stop thinking of the conclusion as just an afterthought. Seriously, it's not just a quick summary. It's the critical final step where all your hard work pays off, and it all comes together to deliver a powerful, reasoned outcome. So what are we really talking about when we say conclusion in IRAC? Well, here's the deal. It's basically your final judgment. It's the moment where you just come right out and state the most probable outcome based on how you applied that legal rule to the facts of your case. A really great way to think about this is to see it as your verdict. Yeah, your verdict. Based on everything you've already laid out in your analysis. What's the final call? Having that mindset really helps you focus on what matters, delivering a clear, definitive statement. All right, so let's get into the how-to. How do you actually craft a clear outcome? Look, this isn't about using fancy, flowery language. It is all about laser-focused precision. Your number one goal here is just to be understood, period. No ambiguity. So here are 4 core principles. They're simple, but they are so powerful. Be clear. Be concise. Just get straight to the point. Be transparent with your reasoning. And this is a big one. Avoid vagueness at all costs. And remember, giving an uncertain answer is totally different from giving a vague one. We'll get into that. Okay, take a look at this example. The contract between the parties is likely to be void. See how that works? It's direct, it's concise, and it gets right to the heart of the legal question. There's no maybe this or, well, it's hard to say. It just gives a clear, probable outcome. But wait a second, that word likely is doing a lot of heavy lifting there, isn't it? And that brings us to such a crucial point, nuance. Look, legal analysis almost never deals in 100% certainties. So learning how to use that nuance is how you navigate the gray areas like a pro. And this right here, this is the question that trips so many of us up, right? You've gone through all the facts, you've done the analysis, but there's a key piece of information missing. Or maybe there's one single factor that could swing the whole case one way or the other. So what do you do then? Okay, here's the absolute key takeaway. Using words like likely or probably is not a weakness. It's not a sign that you lack confidence. It's actually the opposite. It's a sign of real analytical precision. It shows you get the limits of the information you have, and you're giving the most accurate answer you possibly can within those limits. Okay, let's look at this side by side. A weak conclusion is just saying, the outcome is uncertain. I mean, that tells your reader literally nothing. It's a total dead end. But now look at the strong, nuanced version. The outcome is likely X because of Y, but depends on factor Z. Do you see the difference? It's huge. You've given a probable outcome, you've given the reason, and you've pinpointed the exact variable that the whole thing hinges on. Now that is helpful analysis. And this brings us to the absolute golden rule. And you cannot forget this. If your conclusion says the outcome depends on X, Y, or Z, you absolutely must have already talked about why X, Y, and Z are important back in your analysis section. Your conclusion is for, well, concluding. It is not the place to start introducing new arguments or new evidence. No surprises. Okay, let's pull all of this together into a simple checklist. Think of this as your roadmap to writing that perfect conclusion every single time. So here it is, your 4-step checklist. Step 1, state the outcome. Just directly answer the legal question. Step 2, be clear and concise. Get right to it. Step 3, use that nuanced language. Don't be afraid of words like likely when the facts aren't totally complete. And step 4, always link back to your analysis. Remember that golden rule. Make sure any dependencies were already discussed. No surprises at the finish line. So at the end of the day, remember this. Your conclusion isn't just an ending. It's not just the last paragraph. It's the ultimate proof of your analysis. It's where you show that you can take all this complex information and boil it down into a clear, precise, and really well-reasoned final judgment. So next time you're tackling one of these, I want you to ask yourself this one question. What's the one factor that could change my entire conclusion? If you can find that factor, and you can state it clearly, well, you're not just writing a conclusion anymore. You're demonstrating true mastery.